Hey guys, good afternoon, morning, evening. This is Planethead. I am on EVE Online and ready to roll. I got a couple hours before work. I got to get some food in me later on, so I thought I'd jump on here. Why am I all bundled up and sniffy? Because I came home from work this morning and my power was out and the house was cold. And so I've got it semi warmed up, but I do work on my house, and this winter hopefully will be the last year where I have bad insulation. But it is taking forever to heat up. But you don't care about that, but that is why all this is on. I have it heating up, but it's got, that's, you need that present heat to stay, and it's still heating up the house walls and things. So, boy, that was not a good sleep. But I am awake because it's so cold. um, and I thought I'd just throw together a quick video in the middle of my work week just to try to stay away from being cold. And I've been meaning to do a video on the Tormentor. I've talked about it the last couple times. Um, this is day, I think, like 28 of my 100-day run. I'm looking forward to day 30. I want to do maybe a recap or a top 10 list of things that I've learned in my 100 days. But this will be a kind of junky video. If you noticed my last video, I'm slowly trying to add in a few things into the thing. I think I have an end screen that shows my playlist for these videos if you want to check it out. I did take a junky um, uh, picture of my Tormentor here and did a lot of work in paint. And if you may have already seen this, if you saw I'm going to try to upload that as my opening picture thingy. A lot of stuff to work on for that sort of thing. But Tormentor. So, couple of things. This is my current Tormentor here that I've been able to get together out here in Stain with my limited funds and things. Here is my current fit. Um, got a couple rigs on here. Open slot right here because I don't have enough power grid space right now. You've seen me mess around with this a little bit. I'm still looking for that the third anode particle stream cannon one. I did just skill up into small laser cannon gunnery. Let's see here, small power grid management, small energy turret 5. Was able to get that up and running, so I'm pretty happy with that. And that has gotten me up to 136.1 DPS. Still room to go with my gun. Current skill I just threw in, and that's why I'm kind of bringing this up right now, is I'm checking out the small beam laser specialization here. I just loaded these in. I've got level 1 right here. It's got 19 minutes to go. I then have level 2 and level 3 come in here in a little bit. But I want to see by the end of the video how much this affects my DPS. Just level 1. I've got 3 small beam lasers on here. So I want to check that out. So that'll be the end of the video and see where we're at with that. Actually, what I will do is I love the snipping tool. I know it's dumb, but I am going to snip this so that I can compare. I like to do this a lot. How much a skill helped me. Blah, 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 blah. There we go. So we'll come back and talk about that. So, the Tormentor. Honestly, I'm not even sure I hardly ever see anybody flying these ships. I think they focus mostly on the Tristan, on the Galente side. So what I thought I would do, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's the Tristan here. Let's go. Tristan. Ooh, right there. Yep, I see that a lot. And it is your major drone boat. It flies 5 drones as I think it might be the only regular frigate that can fly 5 drones. Um, so what I thought I would do is compare it versus uh, the Tormentor, that ship that I'm talking about this whole time, and just do a quick comparison and see what they both look like. Um, and I understand the idea behind it, um, but if you're out there, drones are fun. When I used to play, I used drones all the time. This time I've tried to stay a little bit away from them, but the Tormentor's kind of drawn me back a little bit. The major issue that I have with drones is you always have to put them out there and bring them back in. So they're great for PvE. I am 100% sure they're great for PvP. I've seen people doing that. But for me and my limited keyboardishness, um, uh, I'm still learning in hotkeys and things like that, and being able to keep an eye on the screen. And I like to focus on just basic stuff and not rely on one thing. So when I do at some point get into PvP, I want to be able to do that. So here is the Tormentor here. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring that one up. I like to do this a lot. You can use the compare tool. When I'm only doing 2 things, I usually, and you know what, before I do my next comparison, I'll use the compare tool a little bit more. Might be better. But I like to pull them up next to each other. And the first thing I always like to do is look at um, their traits, obviously. You've seen me maybe do this before. So this is your Galente Tristan drone boat. This is your Amar Tormentor. So looking at the bonuses here, the Galente Tristan, you get hybrid tracking speed. If you've seen me play, you've seen me having problems shooting things, small things, with my beam lasers. So this would be something helpful for rail guns. I think they're rail guns for the Tristan, but basically the same thing. Not the same thing, but you get the gist. The other bonus that they get are drone hit points and tracking speed. So their drones can hit better, or not better, but um, their accuracy is better, which can be very important. Um, uh, I haven't run into a whole lot of a problem with that yet, but I'm sure it will be. I think that's very important in regards to probably PvP. Um, Looking at the Amar frigate, we've got a 10% reduction in energy turret activation cost, so it costs less to use the guns. This is somewhat important when you're tanking, actively tanking. If you're not actively tanking, it's not a huge deal, I don't think. The second part here is the small energy turret damage. That's your second big bonus there. So you're going to be able to do more damage if you hit the guys, but if you can't hit them, it does you no good. So the big thing here is whether or not you can hit the things that you're trying to hit with your turrets. So there's your 2 big bonuses, differences there with your fits. Now before I go into the actual attributes, I like to look at the fittings. And this is a big difference. And it may not look like it, but 1 extra slot or 1 less slot in something can be very important. And then basically the power grids and CPU, a lot of people forget to look at those things. So let's just run through them real quick. Your CPU is the same. Here's the big one. The power grid output is 35 for a Tristan and 50 for a Tormentor. Now, why would that be such a large difference? Well, we're going to look at it. We're going to find out here soon. Next part here, the Tristan gets 2 gun slots while the Tormentor gets 3. So that is a big bonus right there. So your big thing with the Tormentor, you're getting an extra turret slot. So while it can fly some drones, In my mind, you focus on your gunnery because you're getting, remember, your damage bonus here with your gunnery. It's only 5%, but it's per level, so that's big. Let's go back in here. And you get an extra shot. Whereas the Tristan, you only get 2 areas, so that's only 66% of the possible damage from there. It will make it up down the road. That's why people fly this with the drones. So, coming down here, now why is this power grid output larger? Because the power grid is needed for this one extra slot right here in your low power slots, right here. And that's important. It's very important. And that is where you normally either put armor tanking. A lot of times you put your gunnery damage increases in there, like your heat sinks. I've got 2 on my ship. So that's where you're upgrading the damage that your Tormentor is doing. Deep diving it, in my mind, what I would want to do, this is stupid, but I would want to see, okay, that extra slot of uh, the, the heat sink, how much does that upgrade my ability to increase my damage on drones in the Tristan? Because the Tristan also can be upgraded with drone damage amplifiers, but it gets 1 less slot. Okay? And this is going way too far into it, and this is where you want to break your brain. But then, Bill, Planethead, but Bill's my real name, it doesn't matter. Well, it's not my real name, it's my nickname. In French, it's Guillaume. But, in a Bill, Planethead, in a Tristan, they don't armor tank, so you don't have to worry as much. Well, why can't you armor tank, or they shield tank, so there's a middle slot, so you can put damage amplifier, 2 damage amplifiers in that. That's true. You could also do the same thing with the Tormentor. So I'm toying around with the idea possibly of going with 2 heat sinks, a tracking amplifier or something in a low slot, and then shield tanking my Tormentor, and then it gives me a 3rd last slot, but I haven't messed around with that yet. That goes mostly into why I really kind of like this little ship for now, because it gives me so many different options. I can either go armor or shield tank. But you are limited to beam lasers with this sucker. So we got all of that right there. So let's just go into the attributes real quick. Got a little bit of time here. I'm going to run through these. Now, I like to just pull them up, like I said before, right next to each other. I'll pull this down. There are some definite positives and negatives. I could probably get into more of that later on. Some quick things that I noticed, and this is where I talked about the drone capacity and drone bandwidth. Your drone bandwidth here is 25 for the Tristan, and this is what it does and how it does it well. Whereas your drone bandwidth for your Tormentor is 10, so it can only fly. He can fly 5 drones, 5 light drones. He can only fly 2. So on the Tristan, your main damage dealer are your drones. So you're going to throw your 5 drones out there, and then you're going to have your 2 guns kind of protecting on that. With the Tormentor, your main damage dealer is going to be your lasers, and then you use your drones to either amplify or fix problems or your holes, in my mind. I kind of like that because right when I warp into somebody, I can start firing, and try to kill. If I'm doing PvE, I can start trying to kill off any little ships that are around, and then go after the big boys. And where the Tristan, I gotta land, and then I gotta send the drones out, then I gotta pick targets, then I gotta go, and then they gotta travel to them depending on the distance that they're away. And there's a lot of skilling up involved with the Tristan. Again, don't get me wrong. I used to fly the Tristan. I love the Tristan, but it's why I'm kind of currently liking to fly the Tormentor right now as a new ship. So, um, so that is the huge difference between the two right there. Let's just look at it here. Got some differences. The inertial modifier. This is a kind of a big one here. So, just to show you here, I noticed this when I was looking at these two earlier. The inertial modifier affects the speed that you're able to turn and accelerate. So, in other words, it affects your ability to get out of dodge. Um, as these, if you want to get away from somebody trying to kill you, or if you're wanting to, I like to take things to the edge when I'm doing my NPC work. Um, this is your ability to not have any problems. Now, so let's look at what I'm doing. I'm out in Stain as an alpha character with no cloak, so I need to get off gates as quickly as possible. So what it says here is the speed, it affects the speed positively as the number decreases. So if you see here, inertia modifier for a Tristan is 3.44. Your inertia modifier for a Tormentor is 3.1. That may not seem like a lot, but man, it is a good thing. And then throw into account anything that you're using or any skills that you have that may affect that. So that is a big difference right there. So the other thing here is your armor damage resistance. There is a small difference here between the kinetic damage and the explosive damage. I'm out in Stain, so most of the NPCs that I fight against don't do either one of these, so I don't worry about that. And then down here, these are all the same. There are some small differences. The one here that you can see is, let's just scroll all this up. There's my capacitor. Is the capacitor. All of our ships have a larger capacitor than the the Galanti or any other faction that I know of. But they also use beam lasers, which use their capacitor. So you're not worried about your ammo loss, but you have to have that larger capacitor to keep it going. This is what would hinder possibly being shield tanked, because you'd want to be actively shield tanked, maybe. Recharge time doesn't really matter a whole lot because the capacitor is larger. It's going to take longer for that capacitor to recharge. Okay? The maximum lock targets, one extra. I'm not too worried about that right now. Signature radius. So this is kind of important. Small values increase the time to lock onto this target. Again, it looks like a small difference, but when you add everything together, so the smaller this number is, the longer it takes for somebody to catch you and kill you. So what does this do for me out in Stain? Added in with my inertial modifier, which gets me out of dodge faster. The signature radius being smaller makes it longer time for somebody to try to lock me and hold me down. So because I'm at 41, 35, pretty significant there. So I might be able to die one less time, which can be important. Got up, and the Tormentor has a higher velocity. So, what is the main? It's pretty simple. Mostly, 9 out of 10 times, the Tormentor is going to outdo, in my mind, the Tristan. The Tristan, on the other hand, does what it does really, really well, and that is fly drones and fly a lot of them. So, the only thing I worry about with the Tristan is you would just get so kind of bored. But there's other things, and I know it is too popular a ship for that to be the case. But this is why I'm flying the Tormentor right now. Oh, hey, we just had a couple people pop in the system. I love watching that. Oh, we're up to 5, 6. See that? I love doing these active. Usually when you see this, it's people zooming around, trying to find people in combat sites. So, the other thing I wanted to do here, how long do we have on our skill check? We've got... Oh, only 3 minutes. Wow, I talked a long time on that. That is my first initial try on comparing ships. Down the road, I may revisit this, but kind of organize it a little bit better. So it's really, I just wanted to, I've been wanting to make this video for a while. I didn't have a lot I wanted to do today before I go to work. So, and it's cold. Um, See how, notice how everybody left? The big thing here is this is KP Tech FQ1. You got to look and see why people would do stuff. So this is where I'm at right now, KP FQ1. It is not on a route. Okay, it's not on a major route here. This would be a major route, major route, major route. So this is off the beaten path. So why would 4 people fly in and then fly away? Because 4 people fly in and look to see if there's anybody they can kill. And they go, nope, and they fly away. I.e., why I like the Tormentor, because if I saw 4 people fly in, I would go, boop, boop, initial modifier, and my signature radius, we're going to a safe spot. I'm filling time here while I'm waiting for the skill to come in. So let's take a look at, I'm going to do it. We've only got 3 minutes, so I've got my skills here. So I've also got power grid management that I'm working on right now. I've got 9 days. This is the negative of playing in an alpha character. I think maybe the worst part of it is I would be skilling this up twice as fast as if I was playing a Omega. So hopefully day 100 this will get a lot faster. But I am doing the daily bonuses and the current Doctor Who thingy special thing, which I got 5,000 skill points for. So I'm just going to dump that in here. I know I've only got a minute, but I want to dump it in anyway to get this power grid management going a little bit faster. So we are going to do that. There it is. So that'll clear out my beam lasers. And then we'll check out to see the difference that the small beam laser specialization does. Boop. There we go. You keep going, power grid management. I'll see you in 9 days. Because it will be about 9 days, because even though I'll be throwing in my skill bonus points, I'm going to be throwing in these other specializations probably to see where they're at. So, remember I snipped that thing earlier? Let's see what we got. Here is my current 136.1 with the new beam lasery bonuses. Let's check out the snip that I had. Oh, shoot. No, I didn't snip it. Oh, no, I did. I think I did. That's my paint. Oh, snip. There we go. So 136, that is... Wait. Am I wrong? See, this is where you do stuff and you think maybe I made a mistake. 136.1. This says 136.1. Meh. Thought it did like a 2% bonus. Okay, so this is where we figure out where I'm done. Dumb. 136. Let's go ahead and close this down again real quick. And let's try her again. 136.1. Show info. This is a small beam laser. High-powered beam laser. And I just did my beam laser specialization. Maybe I misread this. I ordered some shoes the other day online, and I got size 7s. Do I look like somebody who wears a size 7? I wasn't reading the fine print. I have to send them back. Size 14. I'm a big guy. Beam laser. Boy, this is going to annoy me if I didn't read this right. Maybe it increases my tracking speed or something, which I don't mind. I need more of that. Skills. Show info. Description. Specialist training in the operation of small beam lasers. To learn the damage of the small turrets requiring small beam laser. Ow! Okay. So this is where I only wasted about 30 minutes. And now I'm going to get rid of these. You get off of my lawn. And then I'll explain it. So this is very important. This is where you have to read the fine print on some of this stuff. And I'm glad I didn't go any farther with this. I was thinking about just dropping these in for the next day, and it would have wasted an entire day's worth of skilling up. So it says 2% bonus per skill level to the damage of small turrets requiring small beam laser specialization. Requiring. So if a gun requires you to have this skill, then it will give it that 2% bonus. Why is that important? Because the lasers that I have on my ship, the Tech 1 lasers, do not require this skill. How do you find out what require it? Right here, required for Tech 2 items. Boom and boom. So if I ever upgrade to Tech 2, which show info, I thought in the maybe I can upgrade to these at some point. I thought, boy, I could upgrade to these. I didn't know I could go Tech 2. If I remember correctly, when they first brought out the alpha character, this is where you learn. I am so glad I'm doing this. The Tech 2s weren't allowed to be put onto ships for alphas. Maybe they are now. So let's check her out. Now with Tech 2, if I remember correctly, you can only use these types of ammo. Right. Oh no, I guess used with. Oh, so you can use the regular ones. Okay. Tech 2 ammo for the lasers do actually degrade, whereas these don't. Okay. Well, learn something new by making a mistake. So, let's get this off of here. Kill you. I'm not going to do this right now. Don't need it. If you notice here, I've got drones level 3, 4, and 5 in the bays. So my long-term goal is to get this power grid up and running, then go drones, and then I can do the drone boat for the Amar and have it mess around with it. But in the meantime, we get this power grid up, and then I'll do the gunboat as the destroyer, because I want to have full power grid ability to fit as many guns as possible. So hopefully within the next 9 days, I will be flying, I think it's a Courser, and then I'll be able to kill even larger ships and make more ISK. Other than that, I learned a lot just doing the videos today. Appreciate you guys listening. If you have any questions, concerns, ideas, thoughts, please feel free to message me in-game or on the YouTube channel. In-game is Jeremiah Johnson 72, and happy to talk to you. Alrighty. Fly safe, fly dangerously, fly high however you want, and I hope you have a good week, and alrighty. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Stop video.